You live.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Happy Monday. Oh, I loved that band when I was growing up. I loved the Happy Mondays. Yeah, so have you all had a good weekend? I hope you have. I've had a busy weekend. I am on holiday as of tomorrow. I've got a week off. I can't flipping wait. I am definitely in need of it. Yeah. My brain's a little bit at the moment. So yeah, I'm off from tomorrow. But I've got about 27 hours of work to fit into today. So it's all good fun. He's coming online. He's there. Lost a bit.
Just waiting for people to comment.
Anybody there?
Hopefully the comments are going on.
Hopefully the comments are going to come through. You swipe.
Yeah,
swipe,
I've got the swipe there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Tina says hi.
Hi Tina. We're getting the comments. I think we're getting some of them anyway. At least.
There we go.
Cool. What have I got to tell you today? So, there's only 3 left on the raffle. So if you haven't had a go yet, there's 3 left. It's £3, £120 prize as the last few have been. That sold really, really quickly. Sean put it on Saturday, and yeah, I think this morning there's only 3 left by this morning, so they went quick. So grab one of those if you fancy having a go. What else have I got to tell you? We're going to be going forward. We're going to be doing these 1 o'clock lives Monday to Thursday. The shop has got a lot busier, and we've got Chanda, and we're going to hopefully be able to start our classes up again soon. So we need to get all our cancelled classes done, and all those, just lots and lots of balls in the air, trying to juggle everything. And the prep work for these 1 o'clocks obviously take quite a lot of our time and stuff. So we're just going to reduce it down to Monday to Thursday, just to give ourselves a day, Friday, to prep for the next week, prep anything we need for a Chanda and all that kind of stuff, because yeah, it's busy at the moment, which I'm not complaining about in the slightest. It's brilliant. but yeah, it's just to give us a little bit of breathing space. So they're going to be Monday to Thursday at 1 o'clock from now on. What else have I got to tell you? We've had to rejiggle the postage as well, because you guys are shopping lots. So if you want first class, it's £3. If you want second class, it's £1.50, which is still less than actually the Royal Mail charges us. But we've done free postage over £25. So if your order's over £25, you'll still qualify for free postage. So we've rejiggled that over the weekend. What else has happened? What else have I got to tell you? With other stuff, I'm sure, as well. Sean put out what's happening this week, so we're going to do some English paper piecing today, and we're going to do tumbling blocks. So I'm going to show you that, and then Sara tomorrow is going to do a crochet beanie, show you how to make a hat and how to work in the round. What is she doing? Block of the week. She's found a really cool block. Really cool block. She's going to do block of the week with you on Wednesday. And on Thursday, she's going to show you how to make some really lovely stuffed fabric letters. So that's what's happening this week. What else is happening? What else have I got to tell you? Any questions or comments? We'll have a quick think.
Everyone says hi.
Hiya. Hi, everybody.
Nikki, Ali.
Lovely.
Tina says the yellow looks amazing on you.
Oh, thanks. I'm feeling... My husband bought me this dress for my birthday last year. I'm feeling a little bit like a Stepford wife today. It's all very 1950s thing, but it's got pockets. It's got pockets. I love a dress with pockets. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit Stepford wifey today, but yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Thank you. Thanks for the compliment. That's lovely. Yeah, I wasn't sure about it because I don't normally wear yellow, but yeah, I'm going for it. What else have I got to tell you? Oh, the sale in the shop. Yeah. So if you come into the shop this week, we've got 20% off everything at all in the shop. You can, new, old, everything's got 20% off. We've been really silly busy. We've had a queue today, and we've had to stop people coming in because there was too many people in the shop. So yeah, if you come into the shop this week, so it runs Monday to Friday, you get 20% off, and then next week, for those of you who can't get to the shop, there will be a website. What's the word? Offer. I can think of the word offer then. Yeah, there'll be a website offer next week. Okay, so so you don't miss out. If you can't get to the shop, you will be able to order online. But it's definitely, because not everything is on on the website. So there's lots of stuff in the shop that isn't on there. So if you do fancy a little day trip, because the weather's supposed to be okay-ish this week, hopefully it's going to be nice, then definitely worth having a little pull down to see us this week. Okay, well, see Sarah, because I'm not going to be there. I'm off. She's going to be busy as well. Oops. So daily deal, that's the last thing as well. So daily deal today is this really beautiful panel. Okay, I think this would be stunning. You could do, I mean, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, you get eight of the panels. They all are, I think you've got 4 of each design. I think there's 4 designs on there. Yeah, you get 2. So they were £9. They're from Studio E. They're a beautiful, beautiful, I don't know if I can bring this a little bit closer whether Drew can get it. It's got like a slightly woven background to it with these tiny little like sort of, you know, chaffinchy type birds on it. I think it would be beautiful. You could pick up the greys and the mustards and put some simple sashing in, make a really beautiful quilt for somebody. They were £9, they're going to be £5. They will go on the website this afternoon, okay? I've got about 6 or 7 left, I think. So they're coming to the end of the bolt. So those are for, that's the daily deal. And that will be on the daily deal section or deal of the day section on the website. So any questions or comments before we get going? Anybody there?
Linda says she'll help us and when.
Ah, thanks, Linda. Yeah, and we can always rely on you, my darling. We wouldn't be stuck without you, we would.
But no other questions.
Cool. Right, so we're going to do tumbling blocks today, all right? And the nice thing about tumbling blocks is hopefully you can see this. But you can, if you play around with your colours, you can get kind of a 3D effect. So this, look, I mean, it's all done with diamonds, and I'm going to show you, there's lots of different patterns that you can do with diamonds. But this is the tumbling blocks thing, which kind of ends up, because I've used the same light on one side and then a dark on the other, with just the colour on the top, you kind of get that. I hope you can see that on the screen. You kind of get like a 3D effect, almost like they're poking out. Okay, so can you see that, Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I'd show you how to put them together, and also about how to cut your fabrics. A nice little easy way of using the angles on your ruler and cutting the fabrics. Okay. Before we get started on the actual English paper piecing, we're gonna make little blocks like this. Okay, you make them individually with diamonds. Okay, so we're going to put the diamonds together like this, and then we're going to put the top one in like that. Okay, and then you join these together, and you always have the light fabric on one side, so that when you join them together, okay, you get this kind of slightly 3D effect. All right. But there's nothing stopping you. In fact, if I grab some of the ones I've already cut out, using the diamonds to make stars as well. So they could go, I haven't wrapped these yet, okay, because I'm going to show them. There's nothing stopping you putting the diamonds together like this so that they make stars. They don't have to be tumbling blocks. I haven't got another colour, so they're going to have 2 yellows in this one. Okay, so that they make a star. Okay, and then the other diamonds would actually fit in your background colour round the out. Actually, if I do them in this, if you see in your background colour like this, and it becomes like a hexagon with a star in the centre. So they're a really nice way of playing around. If you like English paper piecing, they're a really nice way of playing around diamonds with all sorts of different designs. Okay, I'm going to use just a pale one in there for now. Okay, but you can also kind of do this. All right, you don't have to do it tumbling blocks with light and dark. Okay, you could just make little blocks that look, hang on, let's see if I can do this towards you, that look like that. Okay, so you can make little blocks that look like that. Excuse me. Lots and lots of ways you can play around with it. Okay, lots of ways that, you know, you don't have to do this sort of all 3D effect if you don't want to. You can just sew and sew and sew and sew, and they look really lovely together. You know, if you like English paper piecing, and you've always just kind of done hexes, this is a nice way of what's the word? Playing around. You know, having an experiment. So, all right, so I'm going to move these ones out of the way so I can show you. So, there's lots of printable. Sorry, excuse me, my cough has gone down the wrong way. I slurped it just before it came on air. There's lots of printable sheets that you can get online. I'll put a link to this one for you, okay, where we can now cut out these diamonds rather than having to draw them all ourselves, okay. Or you can do, you can use these, which we might have done before. These are from Ashmead Designs, and this is called Hexiform, and this is what I've done these with. And you leave this in, okay. It's like it's a woven side, which is a cotton, and then a slightly sort of wadding type thing on the back. And you leave these in, so they become quilted. Normally with English paper piecing, you would take your papers out, but with this, you actually leave them in, so you don't need to put extra wadding or anything. I'm actually going to use this as the front of the flap on a bag. That's what I'm doing this one up for. So actually, it will give the flap sort of a nice quilted effect. If you've not heard of Ashmead before or not used their products, definitely worth checking out their website. They do some really interesting things, and because you can leave it in, you don't need wadding and stuff as well. So I'm doing mine with that, but you can absolutely do it with paper and card, okay. So those ones are my ones I can use on paper. You can print these out, and you can literally just then cut out your paper. I'm just going to cut one out just for now, but you can cut all these out, okay, and get your diamonds like this. Now that's the size that your diamonds will end up, okay, is that, okay, this is a 2-inch, I think that's slightly bigger than those, they are slightly bigger than those, okay, but they would actually go in this, like that, okay. You could cut them out of serial card, you can cut them out of anything. You could make, I would make myself a template plastic for fabric. If you want to fussy cut and have, like, you know, fussy cut them, I'd make a little template plastic template, which is very slightly bigger than the diamond. You can see, what's that, about 1/4 inch all the way around, so that you can cut out your fabrics. But if you're not fussy cutting, there's a quick way of cutting out your fabrics, which I'm going to very quickly show you. So, any questions just while I'm getting the bits ready?
No, Carolyn says hi. Sorry I'm late. At my dad's, he's 97 in Lincoln. Just made him lunch.
Oh, bless. Wow, that's an age and a half. Love him. So thanks for joining us. So if you want to cut out fabric diamonds quickly, okay, and I want them to cut out bigger, if you lie the diamond, the card piece onto your fabric, okay, and just measure a little bit bigger. So I've got 1/4 inch, so I could cut a strip out 2 1/4 inches, okay, so there's my 2 1/4, so I've got 1/4 inch either side. So if I cut out a strip that's 2 1/4 inches, I can show you, rather than having to draw around template plastic, which is brilliant if you want a fussy cut. This is if you don't want to fussy cut, if you're just going with, you know, like a light and dark, okay. If I line my template like this, okay, hoping you can see, oh, guys will be able to see this. I'm looking for my 60-degree line, because the diamonds are cut on a 60-degree, okay. So I'm going to put my 60-degree line. Can you see there's my 60 there, which is this long one that goes to the corner. I'm going to lie that along the edge of the strip that I've just cut, okay, like that, so that I'm coming back and I'm a 1/4 inch away from the diamond, okay, like that, and I've got my 60-degree, and I can cut up that line there, all right. Because this was 2 1/4 wide, I can now measure 2 1/4 from that angled edge, so 2 1/4, like that, okay, and there's my diamond, so I've got 2. So you could lay these up 2 or 3 in a row, okay. So all I was doing was using my 60-degree along the edge. So I've turned it towards you, so this is along your bottom edge, like that, so you've got this line, which is the right one for your diamond, okay. But once you've done that initial cut, you can then just measure 2 1/4 from the angle all the way down. So 2 1/4 again there, and 2 1/4 again there, and you could cut a load of strips up and do this, and it makes it really quick fabric prep, all right. So it's just about using that 60-degree line on your ruler, all right, and you end up with lots and lots of diamonds cut out ready, okay. Now if you're not using the Hexiforms, the Ashmead stuff, okay, you have to tack these in. You have to sew these in because they stay in place. I don't tack paper for English paper piecing. I use a glue pen because it's so much quicker, so much quicker. So I thought I'd just quickly show you that, okay? This is one of the jobs. You can put a nice film on the TV, cut all your fabric, cut all your bits of paper and just sit and stick and stick and stick, or in the car if you're travelling, okay? When you're using the glue pen, always put the glue on the paper. You can see I need very little, literally just a tiny weeny bit like that, and then fold over, okay, like that. And then you're going to work round the diamond. So a tiny dab on the fabric there and along, and then just pull it over, okay, like that. So you're going to go all the way around, like that. Nice and easy. It's a job you can get the kids doing as well, if you trust them. Okay, and then the last little bit, like that. You don't need a massive, you can see I haven't got a huge seam allowance, but the thing I like about English paper piecing is you can use up scraps, okay? So you would make as many, can you see I've got these little dog ears here? You're supposed to have those, that's absolutely fine, okay? So you would just make lots and lots and lots of those. All right, and then we're going to stitch them together, which is what I'm going to show you next. All right, I love we've got them on the website, the Sew Line glue pens. I like the fact that you can buy refills for them. Okay, so once you've bought, you can see this pen's really old. All the design is actually rubbed off it where I've used it so much. It's because I just use the refills. I just use the refills and keep using it over and over, which I love. I love the fact about it. Okay, you'd make lots and lots of diamonds. You would make them, if you want that 3D effect, that tumbling block effect, you would choose fabrics which are tonally a light and a dark. So like with these two, I've chosen, you know, sort of a paler version of this, because you've got to think about it's that illusion that the light is hitting it and that it's a 3D object. Okay, so I'm going to show you the stitching with the Hexiforms rather than the paper though, okay? So I've just realised I've left my needle over there. Drew, anybody there? Talk to me, ladies, while I just grab my needle and thread.
Anne said hi.
Hi, Anne. How are you? Everybody okay?
Everyone seems very quiet today.
You're all very quiet today. I don't know whether that's because we're not getting the comments through, or whether we are, or whether you're just quiet. Maybe you don't want to talk today. How were your weekends? Did anybody have a good weekend? What have you been up to? So, thread-wise, now there's a couple of ways. Now I'm going to show you what they call a flat back whip stitch, which I can find really difficult to say. Flat back whip stitch. I'm going to show you how to do that today, because it means that you can't see any stitching at all on the front. So traditionally, you put your shapes together and then you just whip stitch all the way along with them together like that. We're going to do it very slightly differently, because it doesn't matter how close and careful you are, when you open it out, you will always see stitching. In fact, again, I'm just going to grab something else to show you, which kind of proves that point for you.
Sandra says, isn't it funny, once assembled, the diamonds don't seem to look like diamonds.
They don't, do they? They don't. So, right, Drew, can you come really nice and close for me here? So this was a piece I was making ages ago. Can you see, it doesn't matter, that this bit here was done traditionally. Can you see? And you can still just see the stitching, okay? And I'll turn it and you can see just here, you can just see the stitching. And that was done just by putting them face together and then whip stitching down. However, over here, when I discovered a flat back, can you see you can't see any stitches at all? Okay, when you do it with this other method, you can't see any stitches at all. And I prefer that. It's entirely up to you. If you don't mind seeing the stitches, I would always use a coordinating colour thread where possible. But yeah, you can see like this one here, you can't see any stitches at all. But here, where I'd started doing it the old way before doing it the new way, you can absolutely see the stitches. And yeah, I don't necessarily like seeing the stitches. If it doesn't bother you, just use a coordinating thread and you'll be fine, okay? But I thought I'd show you the flat back, okay? If you do the flat back stitch, it doesn't really matter what cotton you use. The finer the cotton, the better. I quite like a 50 weight cotton for English paper piecing because it's nice and fine, it goes through the fabric well, if you do see any stitchings, it's always really tiny little ones. So excuse me, I'm tickly today. My eyes are still really bad as well, hence I've got my glasses on, not my contacts. I thought they were getting better over the weekend, and then I managed to get shampoo in my eye this morning in the shower, and it hurt like hell, so I've had to keep my glasses on again. So, flat back, okay? We are going to start by putting them right sides together, like that, okay? And right here on the very, very tip, we're just going to take a couple of little stitches, as small as you possibly can. Now, I've got way too much thread here. Okay, but as small as you possibly can. Tiny, tiny little stitches like that. Okay, just make sure they don't get caught around that dog ear, which they do have a habit of doing, just to secure it. Okay, we're then going to open these out so that they are parallel to each other, like that. Now, you can absolutely pop one of the little binding clips up on the top here. Let me just grab one. There's me thinking I was all organised and I'd left everything the other side of the room. I find it can help to put a binding clip just there, or a little pin, one of those little tiny applique pins so they don't get in your way, just at the top to hold it flat, to hold it nice. Okay? Now traditionally, sorry for those who've never done it before, traditionally you would put them together like that and you would have just gone over and over and over and over and over. But it doesn't matter what you do, you will see your stitches. Okay, so this way I discovered, not that I discovered this, I watched a load of YouTube tutorials and this one lady was doing it this way and it was brilliant. This is what she calls a flat back. Okay, so I'm hoping Drew can get this because it is going to be little. So you're going to take a little bit from this side, okay, like that. Get the tail out of the way. And a little bit from this side, like that. They don't have to be mega neat. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit from that side, a little bit from that side like that, and over you go. Okay, you can see they're not particularly small stitches. They're not, you don't need to put hundreds and hundreds in. Like this, all the way up. Give it a little pull. Oh, it's quite difficult to do it at an angle. Here we go, I'm trying to hold it towards you guys. Ooh. Okay, and you can see, you know, they're not really tiny. You know, they're quite a distance away. Okay. Any questions or comments there? Everybody okay?
I was just sending sympathy because Anne's dad passed away
Oh,
yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry, lovely. Oh, that's really sad. Oh, bless you. There we go. So we're going to go all the way up, like that. All the way up. Okay, like that. So you've got, you know, they're quite big stitches. They're not particularly neat either. You don't really need to worry as long as it's secure in it all.
Ray asked, is it okay to slip stitch?
This is basically slip stitching, lovely. This is basically slip stitching them, okay? But you're slip stitching them with the flat. A whip stitch and a slip stitch is the same, basically the same thing, okay? But rather than doing them together, which is what I was just saying, if you do them together like that and you slip stitch, you will see the stitches this side, okay? Where if you do them flat like this and slip whip stitch, you don't see the stitches. So if I just get to the top like this, okay, and just then I would just finish off the very top just by pulling my needle through the circle and finishing, okay? And you can see on this side, you can't see, which is the right side, you can't see any stitching at all, okay? It's all invisible because it's all kept on the back because it's flat, okay? Just fasten off that one like that. if I got two, hang on, if I show you the difference, what I'll do is I'll just quickly put these two together by the traditional method, which is putting them flat together like that. Okay, like that. Okay, and then you would just, normally you would then just take a little bit, but I've kept them like this. Oh, come on. All the way along, okay? So this is kind of the traditional, and it's absolutely fine to do it this way if that's how you prefer. But I would just want to show you the difference with how you can see the stitches or not. There we go. I really like these Ashmead Hexiforms as well. I like how it's I don't have to take all the papers out, which is brilliant. But also you don't have to quilt it either, because it's kind of quilted for you. You could just put a back on and you've got a bit of sort of oomph to it. So, oh, that TV's quite loud today. There we go. Drew's just had his second driving lesson as well. So it went quite well, didn't it, Grooves?
Yeah.
Doing clutch control today. Was it all right? Did you manage?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I struggled a little bit at the start, but got a hang of it. Jan asked, would mattress stitch work?
Yeah, yes it would. Absolutely mattress stitch work. But if you can, you see, so that's the difference with the flat back and the traditional. Okay, so that's just a plain simple whip stroke slip stitch. Okay, and you can see, even though I've done quite small stitches, you can still just see the stitching. Okay, where by holding them flat you can't see anything at all on that side. All right, it is a little bit awkward when you first start holding them flat, but after you've done 2 or 3, it's really quite easy once you get the hang of holding them. And I just like the fact you can't see the stitches at all on the front. Okay, where it doesn't matter what you do, you can on that one. So tumbling blocks. So I've put those two together with, you can see how that. So I've got my 2 diamonds. I've got a light one and a dark one, and then I'm going to fit in. Get this bit out of the way. Fit in my colourful top of my tumbling block. Okay, like that. So that's going to become like one of the blocks within the piece of work. All right. So again, I'm going to do a flat back. So I'm going to start by just doing it right sides together, just to start with, just to anchor that first little piece there, just at the very, very corner. It's a lot easier to do it this way than trying to do it flat. And actually that first little anchor really doesn't matter. Okay. Any other questions there? Any comments? Okay.
So. They didn't put, looks like hand sewing I could do, but she put a question mark at the end of it. So
yes, absolutely, it's hand sewing you can do. I know you don't like hand sewing, but absolutely it's hand sewing you could do, lovely. Okay, so I've just anchored those two together right at the beginning. I'm going to open it out to keep them nice and flat, like that. And I'm going to put my basting clip up on this end just to help hold it, because it's almost like a third hand then. And then I'm going to do exactly the same again. So I'm going to work my way along. So I'm going to work little bit by little bit, like that. Sorry, it's quite difficult to do it towards you guys. It's one of those projects you need facing you, really. There we go, like that. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit from both sides, right the way across. And over again. Ooh, there we go, across. But I mean, you could absolutely do a whole quilt out of this if you wanted to. It would look amazing. It would take some time, you know. This is not a quick thing. This is, you know, something that you'd have on the go for a long time. I'm sure if Jen's there, Jen will tell you exactly how long an English paper piecing quilt takes. She finished off one of her mother-in-law's ones after she passed, and yeah, thousands and thousands of hexes. I mean, just so many hexes. But you know, for a little project, like I said, I'm going to use this on the front of a bag, the flap of, you know, the like closure flap of a bag, because I think it would look, I'm going to use like a denim in the rest of it, and I think it would look really nice. It gives it a little extra dimension. Ooh, just unthreaded my needle. So just rethread my needle. So any questions or comments there? How's everybody doing?
Anne says, love this, but I'd get fed up with the hand sewing.
Yeah, it's something that I pick up and put down English paper piece in. You know, I'm away this weekend, so I will probably take a little bit of English paper piece in with me, because it's a really good travel project. I mean, I can get, where's that bag gone? You know, I can get a whole project into a bag that sort of size. You know, I can just take a load of hexes, my glue pen, thread and a needle, and you don't need a lot to sit and do, you know, while you're away. It's definitely, for me, it's definitely a travel project. Or if there's a film I really want to watch on the TV or something, you know, if there's something I really want to watch, I'll sit and if I'm not crocheting, I'll sit and do something like this. But it is a good travel project, a really good travel project. So I've worked my way down that way, and because it's all flat, you haven't really got to worry about the Y seam in the centre, because it's all flat already. So it's really nice and easy just to work your way across like that, all the way up this side. And then when you get towards the top, just get rid of that clip, move those dog ears out of the way, okay, and then work your way up. And you would make lots and lots of little blocks like this one, okay? You'd make lots of little blocks before putting them all together. So sorry, I know I'm just having to turn it towards me a little bit just so I can see. Oh, come on. There we go. Nearly there. It doesn't have to be tiny little diamonds. There's nothing stopping you doing, you know, diamonds this size. You know, why, you know, if you don't want to do little diddy bits, there's absolutely nothing stopping you doing massive big diamonds, you know, and you would still get the same effect, but it would go a lot quicker. You know, you can actually do it on the machine not with little tiny ones, but you could actually do it on the machine if you do a really big one as well. There's a way of doing it. You have to do Y seams, but there is a way of doing it. Okay, right, I'm just going to stop there. I haven't fastened that off, but it's nearest, damn it. Okay, so you can see you want to give these a good press afterwards. Okay, give them a good press so that they lie nice and flat. All right, you would then join these together so that, can you see I've always got like my light one on the left hand side. It could be the other way around. The light one could always be on the right, but you want it always the same way. And you would join these up into rows like this. All right, so you would just stitch down that row like that, okay, and then you join your rows into more rows. You join your rows together, okay, until you've got something as big as you want. So, you know, I'm gonna do 4 and then 4, and I need one more row, okay, so I've got one more to do. So this one will go down in here, okay, like that. That will go down in there once I've sewn that. So I would sew them together as a row, and then I would go along just doing exactly the same with that flat back, okay, and make rows of them. If you want to square this off, now I'm actually going to, this is going to be a curved flap of a bag, so I'm not going to worry about these pieces here, all right, because they'll actually fit into the curve. But if you were, say, making a cushion cover or a quilt or whatever, and you wanted to square this off, you can do that by, if I show you here, so you need to basically fill in these holes, like this little piece here. Now how you would do that is you would fill in with one of those, and then you would use half a diamond. Okay, if I got half a, well, I've used it on that now. Oh, there we go. So you would use one of these and then a half of one of your diamonds. So I would have just cut this in half, okay, and just wrapped half of it, so that that then sits in like that, and it fills that gap in, okay. If you're doing these with paper and you've taken all your papers out, there is nothing stopping you just appliquing this onto a block. You know, if you've got a background fabric, and actually they do look quite good if you keep that kind of look and you just applique them onto a block. They look quite good when you've got like, let me see if I can do this. You like if you stack blocks, so you've got a row of 5, a row of 4, a row of 3, a row of 2, like that. So it looks like kids' baby blocks all stacked up. I don't know if I can do that on here now, but you see, you can you could absolutely just applique them on, and you would take your papers out. You wouldn't if you're using Hexiform, but if you're using card, you would take your papers out, okay, and then so that would go like that, and then you'd have 2 and then 1. You know, imagine it's a little pile of blocks. That's a quite nice little block as well. So there's lots and lots of ways you can play around with this. Like I was saying, you can also make like diamonds as well, which I really quite like. That was all those coloured ones again. You don't get that 3D effect, but it is quite a nice effect when you do that. Okay, so you have all your colour in the centre. So like this one here, you see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would all be colour, and then these would all be dark, and it would really highlight that sort of star in the centre. Then you'd end up with a star. And how you would do that is exactly as we just did. So you'd join them to pairs like that, down that edge, and then you would drop that one into there and sew along there, okay, and you do that. So you do your pairs together, and then you'd sew those 2 like that, so just down that one, and then you drop that one in, and then you would go ahead and add your ones in round the side to make a star. So any questions or comments there about Tumbling Blocks? It's a, you know, it's a really nice little gentle project. It's not, you know, it's nothing fancy. It's really traditional, but actually I think it can look quite modern. It can look quite modern. You could play with like greys, you know, like a light grey and a dark grey, and then a really like fussy cut at the top. I could have done like, you know, if I was using like all these rainbow colours, I could have gradiated it all the way down. You could start with, I've seen this done actually, it looks really lovely. You start with like a white and a very pale grey, and then white and pale grey, and as you work your way down, the greys get darker, so until they almost get to black, and you get another effect as well. You know, that looks really, really good. Yeah, lots of ways you can play with it. So, any questions there, love?
Sandra said something. She said, this is something I've wanted to do. This is something I've wanted to do for years with striped fabric. I have,
yeah.
But making diamonds much bigger. I think I might get it out this week.
Yeah, if you made the diamonds much bigger, and you had all your stripes going the same way, you'd have to be really careful about how you cut it. And I would probably, rather than doing it as I did with the ruler, I think I would probably cut a template plastic for your fabric and do it that way, so that you know your stripes are really, really straight. You could then, on these pieces, have like stripes going down like that, and then if you've got a darker fabric maybe, or a shadowed fabric there, so you've got your stripes going, or your stripes being the top piece, that would work really, really nicely. And again, it's just a nice travel project. It's nice to have sometimes have a little bit of something on the go that you can just throw in your bag and do. So,
any more comments or questions?
No more comments or questions? No? Okay, that's it for me today then, ladies. I'm going to go back over the shop and sort out all the stuff we've got to sort out before I have next week off. Yeah, we've got lots to do. Lots and lots to do. So I won't see you tomorrow. I will see you next week when I'm back. So next Tuesday? Next Wednesday I'll be back. So I will see you then. Have a lovely, lovely week. Don't miss me too much. Give Sarah a little bit of jip, you know. Keep her on her toes. But yeah, tune in and watch Sarah for the rest of the week. Don't forget we've got the sale going on in the shop, so 20% off everything. It's 1 week only, and then so that's all then. And then next week we'll have a web offer. Daily deal will be going on the website, so that will go on this afternoon for you. And yeah, that's it for me. Hopefully do a little, not a rain dance, a sun dance for me, okay? So that I get a little bit of sunshine this week, because the weather's not predicted as being very good. So do a little sun dance for me, please, ladies. Yeah, lovely to speak to you all. See you all soon. See you in a few days. Bye.